Here's another privacy fence you can build with 1x6, and of course instead of running them vertical, you can run them horizontal for this type of fence to create some privacy. And again, I'm creating a series on privacy fences that people, if you're looking for a little more privacy where your neighbor can't actually look through your fence. So we will start out with 4x4 wooden fence posts and concrete footings, and they will be 8 foot apart. And we will draw some lines starting from the top, and you can start from the bottom or anywhere you want, but we're going to start from the top and go 9.5 inches. Now this is the same measurement that we used in the other example where the fencing planks were running from right to left instead of up to down. And then we would simply nail our fencing boards or planks. And you can see right here where they would be equally spaced. And you're going to want to put a nail through just the center of this one here because you're going to be putting another nail in later. So one nail in here will be sufficient. Again, they will be 9.5 inches from edge to edge to edge, working your way down. And again, you can always change the spacing on this. In this example here, I'm doing it to leave a 3/4 inch reveal lap, I should say. And there's that. And then we will nail the other planks on. This should give you a better idea how the nails are going to be attached into the top board here, and then it's going to go through the bottom board and then into the wood fence post. And you can always use longer nails or screws for this. If you're going to use screws, use a little longer ones. These nails or screws can be a little shorter. And there's the 3/4 inch lap I was talking about. It'll have 3/4 of an inch lap on each side, and then of course this would be 9.5 inch spacing. If you wanted a 1 inch lap, then you would change this measurement, I'm guessing, to 9 inches. So you could always change this measurement to make this lap a little larger or make it a little smaller. So if you want a 1/2 inch gap, a 10 inch spacing would be fine. A couple of more things you can do to your wood fence would be to finish the edge with something or put some type of a board in the center if you're looking for a little more decoration. And you can see here where this is just a 2x2 basically, and the edge butts in. You can always make this a little larger. This could be, if this was 1.5 inches this way or 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, there'd be a little reveal here where there'd be kind of a corner. That would look nice also. So you can see here where these planks would butt into the trim piece. And then you can always install a 1x4, 1x2 something over the edge if you're looking for something like this. And you could cut a couple of spacer boards, but this wouldn't be necessary, maybe at the top, but I don't think you would need them at the bottom. You could simply attach this board to the top planking here. Take a look at it from the other side, and of course you could always add another board if you're looking for some more stability. It's not uncommon with this type of fence, and I see it too often. These boards will bow and warp in different directions, and then you're going to be able to look through the fence. You're going to need to attach something in the center here. And of course, something like this could be fastened with staples, small crown staples, 1/4 inch crown, kind of like a finish nail would be fine. Screws would probably work great. I think if I was going to do this, I would use screws. Just keep in mind that you don't want the screws to go through the exposed planks, fence planks here. You're going to want them short enough to where they're not sticking out. And if you're not going to use the 1x4 on the other side, you can always just simply screw the planks together. You know, if it's, what do you got, 1.5 inches here, 2 1x4s, basically maybe 1 1/4 inch screw and hopefully it doesn't stick through. If not, get a little smaller screw, and you'd simply screw it in on either side. It could be screwed in on this side or on the other side, and you would just simply work your way down, and they could always be spread out. You don't, if one down the center isn't going to be enough, and you could always do one down the center. Let's just say one on each plank, or two on each plank here, go down the center. And then if they do start to bow or twist, put a few more screws in them if needed. But if you don't put these screws in, at least down the center, you are going to, a very good chance you're going to end up with these boards bowing. Another idea would be to add some type of a top trim board. It's always nice. If I was going to build this fence, I'd like to have something like that. And if you can, have it stick over a little bit. If not, then that would be understandable why you wouldn't want to go to like a 2x8 or a 2x10 up here. You could finish these with different ways. I'm going to try and make other videos in the future to provide you with a few more ideas for finishing the top and the bottom of a fence. Now, another thing I'd like to point out, you didn't see this in the other video, or in the other sections, I had a post that was spaced 8 foot apart. If you're going to build a fence like this, you could always space these a little closer, 4 foot apart. And even if you were going to use 1x6, let's say we're going to use 1x6 dog ear, space them 6 foot apart, the length of the dog ears. And then of course you would have the dog ear trim in between here, and then you could just put a 1x4 over it to cover up the angles at the top of the dog ear fencing. Hope that makes sense. If not, I can always provide you with another example of that. And that is it for this video. I hope it helps, and it is off to the next video.